Hello, hello. This is Juhyuk from the Casual Crypto Podcast. Today, we have a guest. I think everyone knows him by now. He has made a big announcement recently, and he's I think one of the biggest projects on Bearchain right now. Hey, Refo, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm really, really good. I'm in Korea, and you're in Singapore, and you're at Token. How's it going down there?
It's crazy here. First of all, thanks for having me here. Token, every year, this is probably the biggest event in Asia, Token Dubai and Token Singapore. So it's a lot of infra projects, a lot of application, a lot of TradFi guys here. There are over 600 side events this year. So it's definitely a thing here.
Yeah, it seems like the line at the Bear Chain event was just going crazy. It was like, I don't know, the venue was supposed to be 1,600 capacity, but seems like the line was just like going all over. I don't even know where that place is. I've never been to Singapore, but can you give me like a little idea how the Bear Chain event was if you were there?
Yeah, I was there last night. We actually got our own table there. It's of course a Bearchain eco event with EVG, which is our investor as well, and also with OKX. That was like the first night to bootstrap the whole week, and there were like 8,000 people on the wait list for the party. And as you mentioned, the capacity is very low, and it's actually in the biggest mall in Singapore. The club is sitting inside a mall, and that mall is huge, and people are just waiting in line, revving up the whole mall. You can see a long line and people cutting at a certain gates for VIP lines, and the wait list and the norm tickets, and organizers trying to get their people pull their people in. I even get a little bit a verbal fight with the marquee folks because I couldn't even get my co-founders into into the party, and that was just like so upset. And but eventually we're all good. We got our folks in, and that was a very crazy night. Just as a chain hasn't even launched on mainnet yet. I just see so many folks trying to get into the party. There's a lot of attention, obviously.
Yeah, Bear Chain had an event with D Spread in Korea and Puffpaw. Also, you guys presented at the party there, and I was there for the whole time. And it seems like Bear Chain and related projects all have a very big expectations. I saw you guys had a party in Korea, and the police came in and all that. So, yeah, so what is Puffpaw? I think a lot of people know that it's like a kind of a vaping project, but like can you give me like your background and like why you thought of this idea and like what are the intricacies of Puffpaw?
Yeah, of course. So we are a little bit different from any of the Web3 native projects. Basically, me and my other two co-founders, we are college friends since 10 years ago. We went to Lehigh University back in Pennsylvania in the United States. And I'm always in the Web3 side, but my other two co-founders, they are actually in the vape business for a long time. We actually supply over 76 million of the vapes to the biggest tobacco companies in the world. I'm talking about Philip Morris and also KPMG. It's definitely crazy to see how much is the overlapping between vape, between smokers and also Web3 degen folks. So at the end of last year, when we were still building our traditional vaporizer business, it just came to my thought that what if I can build a new project, a Web3 native project, combine our resources and connections in the vape industry with my own background, connections in the crypto, in the Web3 side, to make a vape and earn crypto, that type of fun game, native degen game in the Web3 space, that will be viral. I mean, I'm super confident since day one, even without the product on day one. I just know that this is the fact of the overlap of our target customer. So initially wrote a white paper, and talked to Bearchain folks. It's very degen a new layer 1 EVM compatible chain. And now we're natively building on Bear Chain and incubated by Build-A-Bear, which is the foundation's incubation segment. So that's where we've been the past 6 months, we've been moving very fast, starting from zero. And now we have the prototype. We had a great event at KBW, show people around our product. And that's how, later on people can get into the game. So it's a vape to earn, to incentivize smokers to quit nicotine addiction. I'm sure we can go deeper into the structure, the mechanism in the interview.
Yeah. What's the game? Like you're talking about the game. It's I know it's vape to earn. I have a very vague idea. Like, do I just get tokens just by like puffing it? Then how does that make me actually quit? Can you just elaborate more on the game?
Yeah, absolutely. So imagine step in with a real pair of sneakers. We are making vapes for our vape to earn game, right? So we have the hardware and also we have the mobile app. So from the vape, we put Bluetooth module, sensors, chips into the vaporizer so that it can connect with our mobile app at all time. And every time you are puffing, you're vaping, every single puff is recorded and sent to our mobile app and then uploaded to the blockchain. So essentially, every single puff is on chain. I'm talking about the duration of each puff, timestamp of each puff, amount of puffs per each day, the nicotine level, and also flavor. All of this kind of smoking, vaping data, we have that. And also, it's a closed pod system of the vape. You have to keep buying the new pods for that vape, right? So the pods, our main product is the non-nicotine vape. That's our main product. If you go with a non-nicotine vape, you will maximize your mining efficiency, which meaning you can earn more of the token if you go with a non-nicotine. But if you are a chain smoker, you might go with a 2% or even 5%, depends on your condition and different countries. The higher level, if nicotine dosage, nicotine level goes higher, your mining efficiency will go lower and lower and lower. So it's a game between your financial return, financial incentive, and your nicotine addiction. We want to help smokers to either migrate from cigarette to vapes or from the disposable, the non-healthy, the artificial flavor vapes, nicotine vapes, to our organic non-nicotine vape. So that's our goal. We think that for young folks, especially for the Korean, everybody vapes, right? A lot of nicotine, tobacco consumption. What if we can keep the balance between the mental health and the physical health? Vape is definitely the trend for the young generation. Everybody vapes because your friend vapes. There's a lot of peer pressure when you hang out with your friends. Everybody vapes there, so you are vaping, right? That's a social thing. That's not just a consumption thing. So what if, since we cannot stop it, we are trying to make it 10 times or 100 times better than the normal vaporizers? So that's our goal. We're not asking people to quit vaping at all. We're asking people to quit nicotine. Quit nicotine or quit smoking is so hard. We receive so much FUD or criticism from the industry, from norm users, because they do not smoke. They do not know how hard it is to quit smoking. In their perspective, it's like a one day thing. You either smoke or not. But we're not talking about habits. We're talking about addiction. When you are addicted to nicotine or tobacco product, it's very hard to force you to quit right away or on day one. It's a long-term process. So how about we make it more in a realistic way, practical way, to start from lower their nicotine level and to stay with non-nicotine. And then we can talk from there, either quit vaping or something else. So that's our main thesis here.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but two things come to mind. First, the pods. Well, I wanted to gift one of your puff paw machines to my housemate, And he was like, oh, do I need like dedicated pods? Like, wouldn't that be more expensive? Like, how do I procure them? Like, where do I purchase them? Like, would that make me actually lose money? Like, because even though you can get tokens, but if you spend too much on the pods, which price that is not, I don't know the price right now. And secondly, the logistics of the pods are, I mean, you guys have a lot of experience in the vaping scene, so I guess that would not be a problem. But the conundrum of having a dedicated pod seems like what do I say, like a kind of a not a big like appeal to people who already have their own machines.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Yeah.
So absolutely. So the reason we have the pod system, meaning you have the machine and you have to keep buying the new pods, is because that closed pod, that disposable pod, is the only way that we can monitor, we can make sure that users are not cheating the game, are not performing any of the civil attack of the game. We are not allowing users to refill the juice of their pod. So every single pod, you have the nicotine level, you have the volume, you know how many puffs you can use with that pod. That's the only way we can quantify. We can make sure that you are uploading, you are providing the right and effective data of your smoking activities. And also on each of the pod, we have the encrypted chip on the pod and also on the machine. Every time you are putting the pod onto the machine, our mobile app is going to identify the unique identification number of each of the pod and a vape. That's how we make sure you are using Puffpo produced product to get into the Vape to Earn game. If you are trying to use other product to get into game to earn our token, it's not going to work. At the end of the day, the hardest part of this kind of deep pen project or physical tangible product project, it's all about civil attack. How can you avoid people cheating the game since you have the hardware? People get the hardware, people will do tons of adjustment, modifications, try to make it better, try to earn more money, right? Try to make more profit. There are hackers on blockchain and there are hackers on the hardware as well. That's why we choose that system. And the second thing is that what's the utility for the token, right? In the step in, you have to take a break after certain amount of movements or steps of time of movements, and also you are consuming consuming your sneakers, right? The virtual sneakers. For this game, for a Vape to Earn, that pod is also the part that you are keep consuming. You are keep consuming the e-liquid pod, the juice. That's why you can use our token to buy the pods. That's the number one utility for the token. When people join the Vape to Earn game, initially everybody is looking for the long-term value of the token, of this tokenomics of the platform, try to justify if it's sustainable enough, right? So because of that, we need to make sure that we have real value or real utility for the token. And selling that pods in the token is actually number one utility of the game. That's how we make sure that we bring real value back to the token side. And only because you are, as a smoker, staying in the game, you are earning crypto, earning our token because of Vape to Earn. And also you're consuming pods, spending a token to buy more pods. That's how we make sure the buying and selling pressure or, the emission of the token is not going to be drastically high, right? So that's how we make sure keep the sustainability of the tokenomics on both sides. It's literally between the on-chain part of the game and also the real physical product consumption.
Yeah, I understand now. Yeah, I guess you guys been looking a lot into the step-in model, I guess, because that was really big, but the token inflation just ruined everything, and now it's I don't know what's going on in there, but yeah, I'm looking forward. So why don't we talk about some Twitter FUD then?
Yeah.
Well, recently you guys had a fundraising announcement. I guess you guys raised around 6 million, and Twitter went mad. Twitter was like, "Yo, like, what is this? Like, how do I quit smoking by smoking? What is this?" Like, people were saying this is the most ridiculous thing they have ever seen in their lives, and I was curious of what you thought about their reaction.
Yeah. First of all, I'm so flattered. I'm so surprised in a good way that we can draw this tons of attention. Any attention is good attention. There's no bad attention, right? First of all, we didn't spend a dime for the fundraising announcement. Everything is done by the in-house folks, and we got a exclusive report interview from CoinDesk. So we didn't spend a dime on the marketing for our announcement, and all of those comments, critiques, thoughts, they are from folks that either do not smoke or doesn't understand about the to earn game, doesn't believe in the to earn game at all. And third of it is that they do not know much about our mission here. So over last week, I didn't reply any of the critics or the thoughts, because I love people to talk in their way. Like, I do not want to get in their mind and, hey, folks, this is not right. We're doing this XYZ, and it's not like what you said. You are fighting us. Go away. It's not like that. This is a consumer project. Like, I am here targeting all of the smokers and also all of the non-smokers who try to help their friends to quit smoking or quit nicotine, right? So if you do not smoke, you're not my obviously you're not my target customer on day one. It's very hard to get them to understand how hard it is to quit smoking, and also very hard to get them to understand how fun it is to vape with their friends when hanging out at a club. And on the Twitter, it's definitely very different from the IRL experiences. When we were at ECC and also KBW, we got phenomenal, great feedback from anyone who see and who touch and who vape our product. It's totally different from Twitter. And I feel like a lot of people on Twitter, they just looking for, they want everybody to be perfect. They want every project to be perfect. They're looking for any of the, tiny, teeny points to critique and to judge. And I think I don't have any feeling of that at this moment. I think they're really support Puffball in another way. Tons of the project spend tons of money in the marketing, try to get 1.2 million of the views of their fundraising news, and we didn't spend a dime. So I'm pretty comfortable with the result.
Yeah. My one question I have is that it seems like there are a lot of let's say quit smoking products that are try to reduce the nicotine intake incrementally, but it seems like people get addicted to that medium. Let's say people have like these candies, whatever gums they chew, chewing gums, and then they just stop quitting smoking, but they end up like consuming more of these products. And let's say the pods, the juice, even though it might not contain any nicotine, it may just give you the habit of just inhaling, So what do you think about that? Do you think people will be able to completely quit, or do you think that it's your goal to just at least move to non-nicotine juice pods?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So first of all, there's no doubt that our business model relies on selling more vapes and more pods. The second thing is that we're not playing God here. We're trying to help people to get healthier and getting better step by step. As you mentioned, when people are looking for those alternatives for quit smoking, they get addicted to other solutions, to other products instead of quit smoking, right? So that means it's hard. That's why we still have 1.3 billion smokers here. If any of those solutions work, then why are we still here? There's no point for us to be here, right? The other thing is that even for the vaporizers, it's a very, I would say it's a hoax for any of the regular vape brands saying that they are a better solution to help people quit smoking. So that goes to the very fundamental question: what problem are we trying to solve today? So in the vape industry, everybody is keep marketing themselves as a better solution, but it's not. You have no way to quantify your puffs, no way to quantify your nicotine dosage every day. Because for the young generation, they hold that vape from day to night, nonstop, puffing with their friends unintentionally, trading tokens, play video games, hang out at a club, chit-chatting with their friends, right? At the end of the day, they are taking in more of the nicotines than going with the traditional cigarettes. That's the number one problem here. It's a hoax for all of the vape brands. They are selling more vape products and they try to position themselves as a healthier solution so they can have a better revenue, have a better business, right? The other thing is that because it is a tobacco product, there's no way to do paid promotion online. It's heavily relying on distributors and local smoke shops. You always buy vapes or cigarettes from local smoke shop. It's very rare to shop online to buy those products because there's no traffic. You cannot do promotion. There's no traffic. So what's the point to do e-commerce for tobacco product? That's why 80% of the profits are taken away by distributors and the smoke shops. That's why smokers are paying a very high premium buying that from the smoke shop, not just because of the tax, but also because, the profits are taken away by distributors. So what we are trying to resolve the problem. First of all, we are helping people to quantify, to monitor all of their smoking activities. At least now you can know that how much nicotine you're taking in, and incentivizing you to take less and less and less of the nicotine and to quit nicotine. We start from here. We are not asking anyone to quit perfectly on day one. The second thing is that how can we make it more cost efficient for everybody to access it, right? That's why we build a platform. We do not want any distributor or smoke shop to get the very crazy profit in this long industrial chain. So building that puff platform, on the one side, we have the early smokers because of the to earn mechanism, bootstrap as a co-launch strategy, use the to earn mechanism. We got an initial traffic attention from smokers, retail users. The other side, we can onboard those vape brands, those tobacco products, try to use our mechanism, build their new product, make it healthier, and sell to our users directly so that we can get rid of all of the distributors in a fair pricing, retail pricing, so that it's more affordable and make it healthier for the habits of our smokers on the platform. So we are not trying to kill the business. We're not trying to, quit vaping or kill this industry at all. But we're trying to make it better. There's no way to kill any of the consumer industry. It's just not there yet. We cannot do it, right? So if we cannot stop it, we have to make it better. Because if you're looking at the vape industry, it grows at 15 to 20% of the CAGR for the past 5 years. And if it's non-stoppable, if the trend is there, then we have to, just go with it, be liquid, go with it, and make it better, reshape, revolutionize the industry. That's our mission.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just assume that Puffpaw gets like 100 million users, like 100 million vapes. Then I guess the token emissions must have to be proportionate to the users, or at least it must have to have some like inflationary mechanism. How do you think about that? Like, what's the long-term vision and how does your tokenomics work in that way?
Yeah. So in our tokenomics, we have a certain percentage for the mining rewards, for the Vape to earn rewards. Initially, we will onboard 10K of the users using our NFT. We onboard them, selling them pre-sale the 10K NFT. You hold the NFT, it's like a ticket for you to get into the game. Holding that ticket, you will get a vape. You will get free vape. You will get a free pods for you to get into the game. So initially, on every single day, we have certain amount of puff token to be awarded to all of the 10K users. So initially, you will earn a lot of the token rewards. As we are selling more of the vapes in the long term, from the 10K to 50K to 100K, your rewards will go lower and lower and lower. But you are buying more of the pods in the long run, right? So that's where we have the selling and the buying pressure when we're talking about tokenomics. But that's just the first phase of the game. What are we accumulating here in the long term is the data from the users. 퍼프포우 as a platform, we are not monetizing or selling users' data, but we will help users to collect and help them to monetize those data by themselves. Why the data is so important here? First of all, there's no such device in the Web2 world. There's nobody collecting such data right now. But this data, they're very valuable. Why? It is from 1.3 billion smokers, sub-health populations. And also, it is respiratory disease related health data. So there are two values of the data. One that is a consumer data, right? As I mentioned, those vape brands, tobacco companies, they have no way to get in touch with the smokers because smokers only buy vape or tobacco products from a smoke shop. So for them, for the vape brands, those consumer data from their smokers, it's very valuable. That's the first thing we can pair the users with the brands, data generator and data consumer. The second part is the health data. Health product, health insurance companies, and marketing, even for the AI modeling training companies. That's how the data is valuable to them. Even after the pandemic, we still don't have any access to this type of data, the machine or any way to any approach to collect such data. So when you're talking the initial phase, Vape to Earn, yes, it's a lot of emission for the token side, a lot of selling pressure, right? Of course. But when you're going to more and more and more of the users, we accumulate tons of the data on the platform. That's how the data is more valuable to the data consumers, because for the big data, for whatever, you have to have a lot of, the data set has to be very big, right? For each of the users. If your data set only worth $5, but today, if you can determine which data consumer, which third party you can sell your data to, for example, if we have 20 data consumers on the platform, you can sell your data set is $5. You can sell to 20 of them. That's like $100, right? But also, be careful. This is dynamic data. Every single day, you are smoking, you are vaping differently. Your body, the condition of your health is keep changing. So those data consumers, they have to keep buying the new data from you. Let's assume that they buy the data for each month. Then they have to buy 12 times for the year. Now, your $5 worth data set times 20 data consumer times 12 months per year, that's over $1,000 per year. That's a lot of value for each of our smoker on the platform. So yes, initially, your Vape to Earn rewards will drop lower and lower and lower as we have more users get on board to the platform. But later on, your data value will go higher and higher and higher. So overall, we can maintain a very fair, very robust level of incentive from the data set, from data side, or from the Vape to Earn side to balance the overall that rewards on a daily basis. That's how we want to build the platform even bigger, to onboard tons of the real, a billion or, that smokers on the platform. So we're not just a Vape to Earn. It's more about the data in the long term.
Wow. That's pretty deep. And actually, when I saw you guys at the party, the Bear Chain party in Korea, it seemed like you guys had a very, very strong following, and it seemed like it's like almost a party brand. Like your energy was crazy when you were presenting, like you were just yelling and people were like, they're just like happy to be there. And it seems like you had like a whole like army of fangirls. And I was thinking maybe these guys can just create like, a cultural brand, like let's say, like a puff, like a vaping media or vaping like streetwear brand, whatever. Do you want to expand on that area too if you had the capacity?
Absolutely. So I barely talk about the data part of this project because we want to be fun. The only way to get more consumers' attention is to be a cool, fun consumer brand, right? Build that culture, build that community. So when we are going into the RL events or marketing campaign or any kind of, get into the real users, that kind of events, activities, we only brand ourselves as a cool game. We are building a cool game with a fun vaporizer, like a toy, to bring more social engagements between the users. One of the fun thing that we have this is that on each of the vape, we even have an NFC chip. So if you're holding the vape and you're meeting another new friend holding another puff-puff vape, the vape can tap with another vape so that you guys can add friends on the mobile app. You can check his profile, and then both of you guys will earn additional token as the incentive to make more social engagements. So our strategy here is to build a cool new brand, a consumer brand with another social layer. And of course, this is on Parachain, right? We are even thinking about building our first flagship store in Korea, in Seoul, because we are working with our Korean partner. He's a juice company called Treats. So they are producing vapes and juice in Korea, a very good coverage. So we are working with them to ship our empty pods, our device, to Treat in Korea, so they can fill the juice for us, and they will ship the device and the pods on behalf of us to our Korean users. So that's something we're working on. Just even starting from the first 10K collection, we want to go really viral and big in the Korean market. We are the first. I'm pretty sure we're the first one try to build a flagship store, like a in real life physical store on day one as a Web3 project. That's how we value about that tangible or in real life, that kind of experiences between the community, between the builder, the team, product, and also the community, the users.
It's almost like the Nike running club, but instead it's like the Puff Paw vaping club, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Because when you are trying to build in the game side, like vaping is like it's a consumption, it's a consumer behavior, right? But when you are building a lot of more the gamification into the vaping process, then that will create tons of fun in this game. When you have a lot of fun, you have a lot of entertainment. That's how you can gather people together and to support, to really buy in this kind of concept and to stay in the community. In long term, we are accumulating the loyalty of consumer brand of Puff as a Web3 project or as a vape brand, right? That's the thing we're accumulating in the long run. Even without, this is the one thing I forgot to mention when you're asking how do you keep the token work in the long run. Even without a token incentive, as long as we can build a great quality of the vape, new type of vape, there are loyalty of this consumer brand. People at the end of the day, they still need to vape. They still need to buy a good quality vaporizers, even without the token incentive. I think that's a very fundamental differences between us and other to earn games or even other DeFi or even layer one. Without the token, without the airdrop, who is gonna use that layer one, right? We have a lot of names in our minds, so I'm not gonna call out their names, but that's the difference.
Yeah, that's exciting. Actually, this is my first time hearing any of this. Like, you guys planning a flagship store in Seoul, and why Seoul though? Like, you have many other options though.
Yeah, this is really an idea started from KBW. When we were at KBW, we physically saw how crazy that Koreans are smoking, are vaping. I'm Asian. I know how hard to survive in the Asian society. A lot of pressure because of the dense population, right? It's very competitive. It's a lot of pressure, and I understand the situation. And when we were going to Korea, we realized that this is really crazy. Every young guy, every single young folk there, they are vaping either with the IQOS or with the vaporizer or with a cigarette. the penetration of smoking in Korea is very high. And also because it's the dense population, that's actually, we have the best chance to go viral in Korea because of this market. And we think that Korea could be our first station among the whole Asian market. Of course, we are going to Europe because they're also smoking very crazily. But Korea, fashion, consumer, crypto, smokers, that's the best place to put everybody together. So that's why we're, targeting Korea as our first station.
Damn, that's kind of sad because like, yes, Korean men smoke a lot. When I was in the army, I think like, I don't even know, like 80% of people just smoke nonstop, and you would see like these clouds of smoke just coming out of nowhere. And yeah, I'm excited. I would definitely visit and see what's going on. If you guys open soon. And so, why don't you leave a message to the Korean community?
Yeah, so absolutely. So I think we are the few new Web3 project, especially the consumer-driven project that prioritize Korea specifically as our main hub, as our fundamental, as where we start. So we really want to work with more of the Korean users, understand the culture, understand what Korean consumers are looking for. There were a lot of crazy crypto projects trying to get into Korean market more on the Web3 way, but on day one we are trying to build this in a more traditional consumer way. We're coming here because of the real consumption, because of the real consumer use case scenarios. We're coming here not because of the speculation or because of the token incentive. It's a strategy to bootstrap the game, to bootstrap the community or the new concept. But at the end of the day, it's still how good that you can deliver your product. So we will be in Korea for a lot of Web 2 or Web 2.5 events, collaborations. So if you are willing to talk or interested in this kind of idea and concept, please DM me or reach out me. I'm so eager to talk with Korean friends.
All right. Yeah, I'm really happy to see Puffpaw trying to penetrate the Korean market with really positive vibes, because a lot of people treat Korea in a, like a pump and dump zone, and people just want to sell their tokens to us. But, having a physical location and with a positive vision, it actually really makes me rethink about, what Korea is, So anyways, I guess we are running out of time. So I'll have to say goodbye for today. And all right, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming in for the podcast, Refo. And I guess I'll see you when you're in Korea.
Yeah, thank you for having me again. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.